Hello, my name is Dean Contover, and this is Current Buzz. Thank you for watching. It's a new season, and we have attorney Romanus Maduabuchi. Did I pronounce it correct?
Yes,
Good.
very close.
I'm glad.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
We're going to talk about exam skills in regards to colleges because it's the beginning of the year and people want to go to college and they have to take exams, right? And that's where you come in. That's why I had you on the show, and you can explain what people can expect, and then we'll talk about other things, tuition, we'll talk about the average price of college now is $50,000 for people out there that haven't had their children go to college in a long time, and aid, and et cetera, that type of thing. And the first thing I want to talk to you about before exams, advanced count classes or advanced in high school, do they count in college?
Yes, they do count in terms of the value of those exams, simply in terms of AP course that a kid would have taken is not the same with AP or with a CP regular classes.
Okay, that's what they call CP.
The CP, yeah. So the CP, the quality is just not the same. The demand of work are not the same. The volume of work are not the same. Therefore, if a kid scores a 4 or even a 5 on AP course, and another kid who gets an A in a CP of the same course, they're not weighted the same. They're not measured the same. Therefore, yes, they do matter in terms of how colleges look at those two students.
All right. I just want to get that out of the way.
Yes.
We're going to exams. What now do children have to take in high school, and how should they prepare? That's your expertise, right?
Yes. So I do exam beyond my regular job as a teacher.
As a teacher.
I also own.
I forgot to mention that you're a teacher at Old Catholic.
Yes.
And you're also an attorney.
Yes.
And that you moved here from Nigeria, went to Villanova, and went to law school.
Yes.
And so, now you're teaching.
Yes, I teach high school in Lower Catholic, at Lower Catholic. The point of what kids take, it varies. Different schools offer different course tracks. You have a regular CP, which is everybody takes those, or an honors of the same subject, or AP of the same subject if the school offer those range. Where the school doesn't have the honors or the leveling, we call it. If the school doesn't have the leveling, then everybody takes that one regular. And it depending on also the school district also do have an influence on what is taught.
Right.
Following the college board requirements and recommendations. But electives are where sometimes the differences are, where there are elective courses that, for example, in private schools that I'm very familiar with, we offer electives to juniors and seniors to take courses that appeal to them, depend on whether their schedule fits a particular course when it's offered. So, but all the traditional core required courses, math, English, sciences, those are still there, and they're not going away.
Right. Okay. So but what would you advise the parents to do? Would you advise them to take the kids have prep courses? Like a lot of people have prep courses to prepare the child to go to college. Would you suggest that?
Yes, because there's really no understating the importance of taking a prep course or taking a skills, exam taking skills course, or even having a private tutor outside the school system. But
in other words, for math or English or whatever.
Yes, if whatever course or subject area that the child is underperforming.
Underperforming, I like that.
Yeah,
I call that weak. Yeah.
It's underperforming. They're not weak, they're just underperforming in that area. To boost their skills needed for that particular subject area. A kid who is underperforming in math may and should, get extra help from the teacher, whereby that is insufficient, should also look at improving his or her math skills with an outside tutor. The question is the financing, right? They cost money.
Yeah.
Like, for example, I run a exam prep coaching. I'm not a tutor. I don't regard myself as a tutor, but I coach exam taking skills. They cost money.
Right.
So in that way, parents who can't afford that extra expense will be limited to school resources, which is the student making effort to go to the teacher and make an appointment to have the tutoring scheduled on when that teacher's availability is there.
Is this after school or in the
After
evening?
school, yeah,
It varies.
yes, it varies
Yeah,
because in this case, the teacher's availability is really what you're working with.
Right.
Teachers, may have a contract that says 7:30 to 2:30, so they are working in that range. A student who needs extra help for that particular subject from that teacher will have to make that separate arrangement either before school starts
Okay.
or after school, depending.
Any hints in regards to telling the audience or grandparents or parents that you could suggest that right here, that any hints?
Yeah, the suggestion will be to take advantage of the in-school resources first.
Okay.
Because, yes, teachers have a contract that sort of gives them a working time frame.
Yeah, right.
Teachers also love when students come for extra help. It actually means that that kid actually cares. So teachers will, I have not met, let me just put it this way, I have not met a teacher who will turn a kid down, say, oh no, I don't have time, don't bother me.
Right.
So maximizing that school resources first. Some schools even organize on their own tutoring extra help sessions that the kids could attend. Again, depending on the parents has to figure out if the school, what does the school have to address my child's needs. I start there first. Then if what the school have to offer is not enough, then you look for
All right,
extra
what's the
resources.
move on stage after that?
Yeah,
next
that would be, for me, will be looking, recommendation will be look for extra help outside. Find a private tutor, for example, that will help the child. Some of these extra help tutoring sessions are businesses. So they may either have an office specific for that,
Right.
or I've also seen people utilize their local library for tutoring, attending those extra sessions.
Okay.
The other part of this also, we live in a predominantly college. There's a lot of surrounding colleges here.
Right.
Some college resource that are organized, parents can seek those out. There may be extra help or math tutoring sessions organized by, let's say, Merrimack College students, so and so days.
Right.
But again, parents have to be able to take and get the kids to that place.
I see, okay. So that's two. And the third step, any other third step?
The third step will be actually sort of investing in free resources, which actually I will make that step two, right? Or in conjunction with step one. Say, for example, a kid is struggling in a particular subject area. You look online, places like Khan Academy is one place.
Khan Academy,
Yeah.
Khan Academy.
Yes.
Right, I'm familiar with it.
Yeah, so that's one big stop shop for everything
Everything, yeah.
tutorial.
Yeah.
Is free.
Yeah.
Is on YouTube. Is everywhere. So the kids will actually should start there.
Mm-hmm.
And there's also similar to Khan Academy. There are other free tutorials that a child could maximize. In terms of languages, there's all kinds of language learning app that are out there. So again, I will highly recommend that people actually look close to what is free before they go out. Make sense. Again, I tutor folks, and I started my tutoring by tutoring bar exams.
What exam?
Bar examination bar exam, bar prep.
Yeah.
So I tutor bar prep.
Oh, good.
And it's one-on-one. I do small groups. So kids can also get into sessions like that because they do offer them. Actually, they do offer them. Kaplan offers them, but again, they are not overly expensive.
Right.
But they're also I can't vouch for how effective they are. I just know that our kids are savvy today if they're motivated.
Right.
Our kids will find resources if they're motivated. So the other job or responsibility that the parents can take is actually motivating the kids to find those resources because they are there when they look.
Okay, how important are interviews in college, essays, and school recommendations? How important are they?
They are important. I am not a college admission person.
Right.
I do have a friend who is a college admission person. College essays, they're generic questions. For example, tell me when you faced an obstacle and how did you make it overcome it, right? So any kid can tell you difficulties, so you're looking at thousands of answers. And we're going to be realistic and be practical. Thousands of those essays are not going to be read meticulously, by the admissions officers.
Wow.
So therefore, what do you need to do to make your essay stand out? First, it has to be good, generally good, well written, well composed. And part of my advice and part of my tutoring strategy is when I review college essays for students, and I distinguish between general versus specific. A general essay says, my mom was sick or my grandparents were sick and it was a troubling time for our family and this and this and that, but we made it through and I'm doing well now. Okay. Versus what specific role did you as the student writing the essay play in all of that? Someone who is reading your essay expects the generic response. The specific response essay will give that person the reason.
In other words, you want to stand out.
Exactly. Your essay has to stand out among the thousands of other essays. That's the only way you get a look in. Similar to a job interview, you get invited if your resume stands out. So those essays have to stand out. The interview is when they go for the interview. Is really about presenting. How do you present yourself? Anybody can write wonderful stuff with the help of editing and help from different
How you
places.
dress, too.
How you dress, his appearance, right?
Yeah, appearance.
His appearance is also what you're looking for. So a kid signs up that he's looking to major in finance or business or government. And the interview interaction, you don't hear that passion, that knowledge base of someone.
I like that word, passion. They have to be passionate.
You have to be passionate about whatever it is that you put on paper that you want to go for. I advise students who wants to do, I want to do law. I want to be a lawyer or pre-law, or pre-med, pre-this, pre-that. And you have to also look and see where are your strengths, because that's what you're going to present. That will take care of itself. You then be able to cover up your weaknesses. So those appearances, if I advise parents, they're no different from any other job interview
Right.
that we go to.
Exactly.
So the way you appear, the way you present yourself, and
In other words, dress up.
dress up, and the connectivity, connectivity to the material.
Right.
So you're a science major. You want to be a science major. You have to talk science.
You have to love it.
You have to love. You have to talk it
Right.
at the interview. You have to connect it to the facility that the school has.
Right.
So that's part of
Real quick, school recommendations.
Okay.
Important.
Because in a way it also presents the student from an adult, from a 2 or 3 other adult perspective.
Right.
Adults who've known them, who've either taught them or worked with them in some capacity.
Right.
So there is good that the students often don't invest in actually figuring out who to ask. They just ask Mr. Joe because, oh, Mr. Joe and I got along and I had him in class
Right.
or something. Mr. Joe may not be the best person to recommend you for what you want.
To me, some recommendations are basically form letters. I mean, every year they kind of might just change the name, and it's a form letter to the college, and
It is. Again, being mindful that teachers are busy and often
Right.
creatures of habit. It goes along the way of the student essay. So when I write a recommendation letter for students,
Right.
I tailor it to their essay,
Oh, good point.
to their interest.
Oh, good point.
So I'm a big believer in specificity.
I see.
I want to write a letter of recommendation that is going to be read.
Right.
That might go number 1. Number 2 is that I'm actually not giving a generic canned answer to this person. Oh, he's excellent in this, excellent in that, which is a recycled statement from previous years.
Right.
But I'm going to address that John is this because John does this. John is interested in this because is what's in John's essay.
That shows that you cared.
Yes. So those recommendations.
That recommendation's highly respected because it ties in with
everything.
Right.
So I'm not. So it's also up to the students to figure out who do I actually want recommending me.
Right.
Because the general sense is, you need 2 teachers to recommend you, plus the one that your guidance counselor is going to write, all of that. Yes, good and all well said. Your recommendation is supposed to give you some kind of a boost.
Right.
That's what it's supposed to do, to also showcase you some other way from a teacher perspective.
I have other questions. Real quick, the director Diane picked up tint on your glasses.
Yes.
And a blue tint. And what was that real quick about?
Yeah.
She said, what did she talk to you about? What's that?
Yeah, it's my I spend probably, if I'm up 16 hours a day, half or more than half of those 16 hours, I'm looking at a screen.
Okay.
I mean, the typing. So there is a protective lenses.
For screen. That's
For
something
screen,
new. I never heard of it before.
So it's,
all right, that's interesting. Importance in extracurricular activities. Is that important? We have 5 minutes, so I've got to.
Yeah. Extracurricular activities is important because of what it actually shows about the student. It shows that you have a time management skills. It shows that you're motivated. It shows that you're actually focused, that you're a balanced individual.
Right.
Yes, a straight A student who does nothing outside school.
Mm-hmm. But if they work, that helps.
If they work, exactly.
work,
So
yeah.
extra activity,
Yeah.
extra activity is a wide range of things.
I see.
Volunteer work,
Right.
sports involvement, activity involvement, working. Again, those all ability to show that you have what it takes to succeed.
Also, now a lot of these colleges, small colleges, can't meet up with the amenities. These kids want good gyms, physical workouts. They want the latest technology. They want the best professors, and they want gourmet food. Have you ever been to some of these colleges? I mean, the Mediterranean, the Spanish, it goes on and on.
Yes.
I mean, when I was going to school, you're lucky you got a little bowl of Jello.
Yeah.
Now they get eclairs and they
No,
get all these.
without mentioning any particular college in question,
Yeah, it's all right.
I go to school where I used to study, and I look at the cafeteria. The cafeteria is like an absolute high-end restaurant
Yeah.
with assorted. So I say, I make joke with students. I say, hey, that's what $50,000 buys you,
That's right.
or that's what
The average.
60,000 buys
Yeah.
you. So that's the part of that. Somehow somebody pays
That's right.
for those.
That's
they don't
right.
come free.
That's right. Do you give advice in regards to tell people that their children should get physicals and shots before they go to college? Do you give them that advice? Because a lot of times they don't know that the kid needs a physical going in his freshman year. And health insurance is also tacked on to tuition, and you got to knock that off. And you have to have your health insurance squared away.
Yeah, so there's another range of things that, again, I don't particularly give a checklist to folks what to do and what to, but my target is often advising people on how to keep your cost low. How do you keep the cost of college low? There are other different avenues to do that, like what you just said. Reduce. If you don't have to take the $1,200 or $1,500 college insurance plan,
right?
That's money off the table.
Off the table.
Yeah.
That's right.
I teach right now. I will be teaching bioethics, which is a dual enrollment course. A kid takes that class from me in high school. That's a college credit.
Oh, wow.
That is accepted
3
in
credits?
accepted in whatever college they go to. Off the table. That's a cost. So there's a lot.
Jefferson High School is going to implement that, I think, this year or next year.
Yeah, so a lot of other places are already doing it.
That, I know.
That my private school where I teach, we just got on board with it. Low, high, different places have been doing this for a while time.
I know Lowell High has been doing it.
So that's a big. A kid could get into college first semester with already up to 12 credits.
Yeah, I mean
that's a semester, almost a semester.
That's money saved.
That's money saved. So
look into that in regards to Jefferson High School. Get your kid involved if you're planning your child to go to school. 3 credits is 3 credits, and
you can multiply. You can add up.
You can add that. Yeah. So I mean, I take a campus tour of the campus. Wouldn't you tell them to take a tour of the campus?
Yes, take a tour. The tour of the campus is because you got to get a feeling. What I often ask the students when they come back from college visits is, how was it? Oh, it was good, fun, I loved it, blah, blah. And what did you like about it? Some people, very few students will actually tell you the buildings. Because the buildings overall are magnificent.
Yeah. Or they're not feeling it.
Or they're not feeling it. Exactly. That's my goal. I said, you need to go feel it out.
Right.
This is the place you want to spend the next 4 years, plus a lot of money. You want to feel it out. Because
time has flown by.
Yeah. Very good.
All this time. So thank you for coming on the show. I could talk another half hour with you.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you
so
very
much.
much.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate you coming on the show.
No problem.